News Channel 5 Network. This is Urban Outlook. This program sponsored by Connie London, a certified agent at the Insurance Exchange.
Hello and welcome to Urban Outlook. I'm April Eaton. Thank you so much for being with us today. You know, there's an organization called the Heart of Leadership that pulls together a number of studies about girls and their self-esteem, the pressures they face, and the leadership opportunities that they have. One of the studies says that 7 in 10 girls believe they are not good enough or don't measure up when it comes to their looks, to the way that they are educated in school, and some of their relationships. But girls are supposed to be running the world, right? And so says Beyonce, at least. It's supposed to be all about girl power and the power of those girls. So what really is going on? We thought we'd bring a couple of experts to the show today to talk just a little bit about the status of girls and a program that they're running to help girls and empower them. It's called Epic Girls. And joining us today is Stacia Freeman, who is the president of Epic Girls, and also Andrea Hancock, who is the outreach coordinator for the program as well. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
So, as I said, girl power is supposed to be so powerful these days. We see all sorts of women in the news doing great things. We see girls putting on those thinking caps and doing great things. But then we see these studies about the fact that they may still be struggling a little bit. So in your opinion, what's the state of girls these days?
Well, I think that it's harder than ever to be a teenage girl, and that girls are constantly comparing themselves to social media and the images that they see, and it makes it more difficult for, say, than when I was a teenager. They know what they're missing right when they're missing it, and they have a constant comparison to what they think life should look like. And so it's hard. It's hard to be in this space even as an adult. It's even hard to make good decisions sometimes around some of what they're seeing.
Interesting. Do you feel the same way, Andrea?
Yes, I feel the same way. And a lot of our young girls, this generation, they deal with a lot of adult issues and adult problems. And I think that along with just dealing with those issues, which what we call trauma, and dealing with things like social media, peer pressure, it is very hard for a young lady to grow up in these days.
So Epic Girls came about 3 years ago, and tell me about why this program started and how you all are working things when it comes to girls.
Yes, well, I founded Epic Girl in 2016. I had worked in anti-trafficking for about 10, 11 years, and just kept seeing victims of trafficking coming forward and recognized that there were so many things that had kind of gotten them to that point, and thought by the time they get to that point, it's a long journey to get them, you know, to a place of healing where they, you know, can feel whole again. To some extent, and I thought there's so much great work that could be done in pouring into girls to build strength so that they don't ever have to be a victim of something like trafficking, or get involved in gangs, or drop out of school, or have children before they're ready. And so that's why we founded Epic Girl. And then Andrea was so gracious to come alongside and really nurture me through this vision, and just become such a leader and great advocate for the work that we're doing at Epic Girl.
Where are you finding the girls that you work with in the program? How are they coming to you or hearing about Epic Girl?
So about 95% of our referrals come through juvenile court. I'm sure you know Judge Calloway has a vision for our city and for our youth to be more therapeutic, and to give girls and youth in general more options. And so about 95% of our girls are referred to us through court. They come in to the court system for most of them, a lot of them, for what we would call non-detainable offenses. And then we also get girls from the Department of Children's Services, from other agencies that are serving youth, as well as some of the girls refer their sisters and their neighbors. And that's our favorite way to get girls, is when girls trust us enough to recommend us.
Especially
Yes.
if they've been through it and they see what you have to offer. So talk a little bit about what you do have to offer, Andrea, when it comes to helping girls who are struggling with whatever they're struggling with and they come your way.
Wow. Love. Love, unconditional love is the most important thing. I believe in order for someone, one of our girls to connect, because they have trust issues already due to certain things, and just being able to be transparent. And I always say that our young girls, they don't really care what you know, they just want to know that you care. And when you show the young lady that you do genuinely care for them, you genuinely want what's best for them, they usually connect, and then that gives them permission to care for themselves and actually hope. The biggest thing I believe that we try to generate is hope.
And you've got some pictures there. I guess these are coming from some of the activities that you've done with your girls in the past. The age range of the girls who attend the Epic Girl program are enrolled in your program. What to what? Talk a little bit about
12 to 17. But once they come in, they stay
always
forever.
belong to
Yes,
you.
they always belong. And so we have girls now that are 20, because we've been doing this for a while. Some will be 21 this year.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing is when they can come back to Epic Girl and talk to the younger girls and say, I see you, I know where you were, I was there, and I tell you, stay here, stay in this community. And their voices are very strong and powerful. I think that for Andrea and I is some of the best. Those are the best moments when we realize that the girls actually recognize their worth, their value, and they realize that what they went through has the power and capacity to empower.
And how did they get there? When you talk to girls and you hear their stories, how did they get to wherever they may be? Whether it is, they've done something to end up in the juvenile court system, or the family life is not right, so they are working with children's services. How do they get to those places where they're dealing with those problems and issues?
How do they end up in the system is what you're, well, I mean, Epic Girl is a trauma-informed agency, and we believe that, and I'm sure you may be aware of our state's initiative to make people more aware of adverse childhood events and how they affect our outcomes. And they will affect us not only in the decisions that we make, but also our economic capacity, our educational capacity. They affect our community from the bottom up. And so a lot of times the things that get them there are just the things that drive trauma. And then trauma, in a sense, acts as a filter and impacts every other decision that they make. And so Epic Girl believes that we don't believe in bad kids. We believe that kids sometimes are a victim of their circumstances, and we try to teach them where you are is not where you're staying, and to teach them to look forward.
Yeah.
You've got some good numbers under your belt. You've helped a number of young ladies on their path to success, some might say. Share some of those success stories with us.
Wow. I think the most beautiful thing for me is when you see a young lady come in and they're very hostile sometimes, they're very shut off or closed off, very guarded. But when they eventually connect and they let their guards down and they start checking on you, they start texting you, how you doing, Miss Andrea, how you doing today? I had a great day today, Miss Andrea. Those moments just melt my heart, because these are young ladies who, I haven't got in trouble today, I didn't fight nobody this month, different things like that. So we believe that it's progression, not perfection. We know that our young girls have a lot to navigate through in their lives, but when we see them making healthier decisions, whereas they used to do something 5 times, now they only do it once or twice, we praise them on that, because for them that's big, because once they leave that safe, nurturing environment that Epic Girl provides, they do have to return to their normal habitat. And sometimes that's very hard. So for those young ladies to make a decision to do the right thing, for them to even come to our class is big, because I'm for sure they have several peers that's doing a lot of different things, and they'll come and share with us at times how individuals, they want them to come. We have girls that's gang affiliated, you know, just all kind of different experiences, but they are daring to be different. So that's, to me, those are success stories. We have several of those who, again, at first didn't want to be bothered with us. Right. Didn't want to see us, didn't want to come to no program. I don't want to come nowhere after school.
Because I bet at the beginning they see it as a punishment, right?
Yes.
And then they get into the goodness of it. I want to take a quick break, and I want to touch on some more things that you talked about, and that is making sure they understand they have that safe environment, because maybe those safe environments don't exist prior to them seeing you. And that constant relationship certainly seems to be making a difference. So I want to talk about more of those ways that maybe parents can even learn how to create safe environments the way you all are doing with the program. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.